In the land of 1 billion+ people, in a city with millions of inhabitants, what are the chances of a miracle taking place? I could safely say 0, because miracles, they don't happen in real life. But that would not be entirely correct, because an unexpected turn of events may seem miraculous to mortal men. Today we begin a series on medical marvels, about procedures from the world of medicine that border on the miraculous. What you will see are a string of very human, very real stories that could have had a very different ending, but didn't, because sometimes miracles happen.
Dr. Girish Warrior can today sit in the cafeteria of Apollo Hospital, Hyderabad, and think back on a case that is close to his heart. About 110 kilometers from Hyderabad, 12-year-old Sarat Konda is playing with his elder brother, Bharat. No bigger than the size of his fist, Sarat's heart has the mighty job of keeping blood flowing through the 90,000 plus kilometers of blood vessels that feed the organs and tissues of his small body. Yet Sarat was born with a congenital heart disease, a defect that would not allow him to lead a normal life even for the short number of years he was expected to live.
అయితే ఈ అబ్బాయికి బ్లూ కలర్ అయింది కదా, రక్త మార్పిడి ఉండాలి, ఈయనకు నరాలు తీసి వేయవలసి వస్తుంది, ఈయన గుండెకు హోల్స్ పడ్డాయి, 2-3 రంధ్రాలు పడ్డాయి, ఈయన బతకడం కష్టం అని చెప్పిండు. చెప్పినాక నేను తీసుకొని ఇంటికి ఇలా చెప్పేసినాక ఇంటికి వచ్చేసిన. అసలు ఏంది బాబుకి ఇలా ఏంది ఎందుకు అని మస్తు ఏడ్చిన. నేను మళ్ళీ ఆయనకు చెప్పిన, మా వాళ్ళకి అత్తగారు వాళ్ళకు అందరికి చెప్పిన, ఇలా అయింది, ఇలా ఎందుకు అని అంటే సరే అని మళ్ళీ డాక్టర్ దగ్గరికి వేరే డాక్టర్ దగ్గర తీసుకుపోయాను.
Every day, the average human heart beats about 100,000 times, sending 7,500 liters of blood surging through the human body. Sarat's problem was complex. There was an abnormal connection of the great arteries leading from the heart. With obstruction of the artery to the lungs and a large hole between the lower chambers of his heart, Sarat's heart was not able to pump sufficient oxygenated blood to his body, causing him to turn blue. Without corrective surgery, doctors gave Sarat Konda a year to live at the most.
There are 50,000 children being born with a heart disease, of which 5,000 get operated in a year. What I feel is that the earlier you operate, you give a very normal life to the child forever. Our intention or our objective is actually to treat them as early as possible, so that their problem is completely corrected before they go out in the world.
Balaya Konda is a tailor who has lived for almost all the 37 years of his life in Narmetta. His house collapsed a few years ago when there was torrential rain. He couldn't rebuild the house, so he built a small shop where he thought he would sit and tailor clothes. But that was not to be. The Kondas rent a one-room accommodation 4 houses down the lane. And it is in this house that Balaya and Bhagya sat and wondered if they would have only one son to raise or 2.
Sarat's parents took him to temples and hospitals and doctors, to every place they could, given their meager resources. But time was fast running out for the child, until finally, under a government scheme, Sarath got referred to Apollo Hospital, Hyderabad. So in 2005, when he was about 3 years old, Sarath went under the knife for the first time. This was part 1 of a planned 2-part operation to gradually direct the veins of his body directly to his lungs. It looked like Sarath finally had a chance.
The future was never very promising for the Konda family. And with the survival of their second son in doubt, the family could only hope that maybe the operation would save Sarath.
Because the inside of the heart is so complex that we often take the help of 3D views or MRI views, where we actually have to, even though the standard echo is a 2-dimensional picture, we have to always imagine the heart in a 3 dimensions and kind of reconstruct how the surgeon is actually going to go in and connect these tunnels and all.
3-year-old Sarath had his first heart surgery. By the age of 5, he could speak and walk, and his tolerance was better, but all was still not well.
ఇట్లా సాగించినాక మళ్ళీ ఊరికి వచ్చినాక మళ్ళీ స్కూల్లో వేసినాం, అంగన్వాడీలో తోలినాం. అంగన్వాడీలో నుంచి డైరెక్ట్ స్కూల్లోకి వేసినాం, వేరే స్కూల్లో నుంచి అక్కడ మార్పిచ్చేసి ఇప్పుడు విశ్వం స్కూల్లో వేసినాం అన్నాడు. ఇప్పుడు 3 సంవత్సరాల నుంచి అలానే చదువుతున్నాడు. ఈ అబ్బాయి ఇప్పుడు ఆయన బుక్స్లు మోయలేకపోయిండు. అసలు ఇంట్లో ఎగరడం దుంగడం ఎలా చేసినా కానీ దమ్ము రావట్లేదు.
In the years that followed, the Konda family kept their fingers crossed and hoped that Sarath would recover and lead a near normal life. But as the years passed, there was only marginal improvement in Sarath, and he was still not able to act his age. Small exertions tired him out, and as he grew older, his condition began to deteriorate.
In 2014, Sarath Konda met Dr. Girish Warrier for the first time. When the Konda family had gone back to Apollo Hospital in Hyderabad to inquire about the second operation that Sarath needed to have done.
In his case, he had something called a single ventricle repair, a first part of single ventricle repair. This is called a bidirectional Glenn shunt, where we divert the blood from the upper half of the body directly to the lungs.
This time, there was a new team of doctors who reviewed Sarath's case. And they decided to begin afresh.
See, I was receptive, but I couldn't see any chance. Imaging gives us a lot of details about what kind of surgery we can plan. So I was very hopeful, I was very encouraged by what I was seeing in the echocardiographic pictures.
She showed me pictures. I said, I want to see it again. So I want to make sure things are okay. I want to see if the hole is being properly, how it can be properly diverted.
So when I was looking at Sarath, somehow he had 2 good ventricles. So I thought, why are we committing him to a single ventricle pathway when, something, a superior kind of operation can be given to him.
If somebody had, say, either me or Dr. Kavita, the cardiologist, or Dr. Meena, one of us had a, say, difference of opinion, then we would probably have backed out, so, okay, that's not the correct option.
I figured out that yes, we could probably undo that whatever was done and take him to a different route.
Fortunately for us, everything looked very good. That's why we proceeded.
It was a major decision for the uneducated Konda couple.
And it is my job to explain to the parent what the disease is and what kind of treatments are we planning. Sharath's case, of course, it took a little more time for us to convince that we are changing the route, but the father was early to get convinced. Then it took a little bit of discussion with the mother, and then she also cooperated with us.
It was trust that finally convinced Balaya and Bhagya that what the doctors were proposing was to give their son a shot at normal life. But the risks involved were massive.
Connect this left ventricle to the aorta. Even if there's congestion, we can connect the right ventricle to the heart.
ఎందుకంటే బాబుకు 10% ఇచ్చిండ్రు కానీ 90% లోపల ఉంది. దేవుడు ఉండు మనకు, మన బాబు మన బతుకుతాడు, చెయ్యండి మేము చెప్పినాం స్వాతి మేడంకు డాక్టర్ చెప్పాడు, ఓకే అని రాసి ఇచ్చాడు. దానికి 90% దేవుడు ఉన్నాడు. శివుడు గిరిశీతాలనే శివుడు ఉన్నాడు. మేము నమ్ముకొని సార్కి ఓకే అన్నాం.
It was not just about having to convince the parents. An operation of this scale needed everyone on the team to be on the same page. Dr. Warrior, as the surgeon, had to be confident that their approach was the right one. There was no scope for having miscalculated.
When you go for single ventricle, you are sort of committing him for single ventricle for his lifetime. Basically what that would mean is that the ventricle which is pumping will pump only to the body, not to the lungs. We divert all the blood from the body, coming back from the body to the lungs directly. So in his case, we thought he has very good ventricle on both sides. Why should we sacrifice his other ventricle?
On the morning of 28th of July 2014, 11-year-old Sarat Konda was wheeled into OT7 of the Apollo Hospital, Hyderabad. In the operation theatre, as Dr. Warrior's team readied the sedated Sarat for the critical hours of surgery ahead, his family could only pray that they had taken the right decision.
అబ్బాయికి అయ్యో ఇవన్నీ చేస్తున్నాడు, మా అబ్బాయి నాకు తిరిగొస్తాడా మళ్ళీ అని నేను బాధపడ్డా. కానీ ఈయన ముందర ఏడుస్తే ఎలా చూడడు నన్ను. అసలు ఆయన బాధపడ్డాడు ఎందుకు, మనం ఆ దేవుడే ఉన్నాడు, మనం బాధపడొద్దని అనుకొని సరే కానీ గోడ చాటుకు పోయి ఏడ్చుకొని వచ్చేదాన్ని.
For Dr. Warrior, Sarat's case was unique as well as routine. After all, his work was his passion. The fact that he was one of the few pediatric surgeons in the country who specialized in heart surgery was a matter of personal choice and not chance for him.
If I didn't do surgery, I don't know what I would do. And that's like, if I can't do surgery, I have that huge emptiness which I feel that I can't take away. So I have to do surgery.
Inside OT7, Sarat's operation took 7 hours to successfully complete. But that was only the first step. As in every major surgical procedure, it is the post-operative period that is often critical. In Sarat's case, his convalescence was fraught with risk.
After the operation shifted into the ICU, I went home. He was looking all right. Things were looking very good actually.
తర్వాత మళ్ళీ ఆపరేషన్ అయింది. ఎన్ని గంటలు చూపిస్తారేమో, మా బాబుని ఎన్ని గంటలు చూపిస్తారేమో అని.
Middle of the night, I got a call saying that he's not doing very well, so we had to come back. I had to come back, see what the problem is, what are the problem.
తన నేను వాళ్ళ అక్క వీళ్ళందరం ఒక దగ్గర గ్రూప్గా ఉండి ఏడ్చుకొని మస్తు ఏడ్చుకున్నాక.
Couple of days later, what happened was that he was not behaving very well that we wanted him to, the way we wanted him to behave.
అసలు తిరిగి వస్తే దేవుడి మీద బారేద్దాం, దేవుడు కర్ణిస్తే మళ్ళీ మనకు వస్తాడు, లేకపోతే లేదు మన చేతులు.
We found that there's some blood inside around the heart, so we had to rush and open his chest again, and the heart is not looking exactly very healthy.
బ్లడ్ పోడు, అది నరం సెట్ కాలేదమ్మా, అందుకనే ఇది బ్లడ్ పోతుంది. మరి మళ్ళీ చేసి ఓపెన్ చేసి మళ్ళీ వెంటిలేటర్స్ మీద పెట్టాలి అని చెప్పిండు సార్.
We left the chest open for a couple of days, and then when the heart settled down, the heart size became smaller, and everything looked good. We again closed the chest.
Sarat remained on ventilatory support till the doctors were convinced that he could be weaned off without any danger.
It took 9 days before the doctors decided that Sarat could be taken off ventilator support. But the long periods of sedation and the complex surgery had taken its toll on the 11-year-old boy. He lost weight and remained weak. When we come back from the commercial break, we'll look at the full extent of this miracle that did happen. Welcome back. You're watching Miracles Happen. We're following the story of little Sarat Konda, who the doctors had given just a few months to live when he was 3 years old. After his initial single ventricular surgery in 2005, doctors at Apollo Hospital, Hyderabad decided on a drastic change of action. In 2015, Sharat's parents were told that they would have to do a procedure to undo the first operation and perform a 2-ventricular surgery. Dr. Girish Warrior told his parents the harsh truth. After the surgery, your son will either live a normal life or he will die. You need to decide whether you want to make the surgery happen.
Sarat lived. It has been a year since his second surgery, and now Sarat not only goes to a regular school like any other child his age, but he has proved that despite the missing years of a regular childhood, he can still catch up with the best of them.
మొన్న కూడా ఆగస్ట్ 15లో కూడా టీచర్ నేను కూడా పార్టిసిపేట్ చేస్తా అన్నాడు, కానీ అతని హెల్త్ బాగాలేదు కదా అని మేమే వద్దు అని అన్నా. కానీ చాలా నర్వస్గా ఫీల్ అయ్యాడు. టీచర్ వాళ్ళు నాకు హెల్త్ అని ఈ విధంగా నన్ను గుర్తు చేస్తున్నారు అని బాధపడ్డాడు. కానీ మేము మళ్ళీ ఏమైనా ప్రాబ్లం అవుతుందేమో అని వద్దు నువ్వు కూర్చో అని చెప్పాము మేము.
Sarat has to go back to hospital for regular checkups. His doctors say that while he is totally cured of his heart problem, there is still a need to monitor his progress till his body is fully grown.
Sometimes they can have complications related to the surgery we did. So he has a tube going from the right ventricle of his heart to the lung that carries blood to the lung. So sometimes as children grow, those tubes can get tighter. So we keep a watch on them, but for practical purposes, he has a normal circulation.
The Kondas are today finally happy and secure, looking forward to a brighter future. For them, the operation that had only a 10% chance of success had turned out to be 100% successful.
Sharat is doing extremely well from what he was earlier. He's able to run around, play cricket. He wants to use and ride a cycle. I think that's still a reward for anybody.
For Dr. Warrior, with all his skill as a surgeon, the biggest challenge he had to overcome in treating Sarat was the barrier of language.
కొంచెం some phlegm inside. We give an antibiotic to control the phlegm. Did he do an echo today?
ఇవాళ ఎక్కువ ఏమైనా చేశారా?
ఎక్కువ చేసి కానీ ఏం రాయలేదు.
సో దగ్గు ఉంది కాబట్టి దగ్గుకు మాత్రం యాంటీబయాటిక్.
అయితే తెలుగు రాదు కదా, స్వాతి మేడం చేయించింది ఇక మనకు స్టార్ట్ ఏంటంటే సార్కి ఇంగ్లీష్ వస్తుంది, మనకు తెలుగు వస్తుంది, సార్కి ఇంగ్లీష్ వస్తుంది, తెలుగు రాదు. మాకు మాట్లాడాలని ఎట్లా స్వాతి మేడం ఉంది మాకు, సార్తో మాట్లాడాలి, మాకు తెలుగులో చెప్పాలి, మళ్ళీ మేము చెప్పిన తర్వాత సార్కి ఇంగ్లీష్లో చెప్పాలి, మళ్ళీ ఇంగ్లీష్లో తెలుగు రావాలి.
4, 1, 2.
At home in Narmetta, elder brother Bharat helps brush up Sarat's math skills. But Bharat vividly remembers those traumatic days when Sarat's life hung in balance, and he didn't know whether his younger brother would ever come home or not.
12,036. హాస్పిటల్ ఉన్నప్పుడు నేను ఇంటికాడ మా అమ్మమ్మని ఇంటికాడ ఉన్నాగా, అప్పుడు చాలా ఏడ్చినాం. ఫోన్ చేసుకుంటూ అడిగేది, అప్పుడు గంటకోసారి 2 గంటలకోసారి అడుగుకుంటా పోయినాం, ఇప్పుడు ఎట్లుంది అని అడిగేది.
While neither parent has much education, their children are well on their way to achieving their dreams. Bharat wants to be an engineer. His younger sibling wants to be a doctor, like those who gave him a second life. The surgeon who changed the restricted scope of Sarat's life embodies all the goodness of his profession that Sarat aspires to. The reason why one wants to be the doctor the other is.
When I operate a child, I always have the child in my mind, even after he gets discharged, even after he goes home. So when he comes back to me hale and hearty, you have a real good bonding with that. As you told me, asked me earlier about bonding, I just have a bit of bonding. Yeah, I would say that.
It was almost that this miracle was destined to happen. The bond that Sarat and Dr. Warrior established helped. And now, even after a year of surgery, when the surgeon meets his patient, he knows that he helped nurture something beautiful. He gave a young boy the chance of a lifetime.
When you see him smiling at you, it really you feel special. That's all I can say. I feel special because of him. I wouldn't say it is like labor, but yeah, what I have done, what I have done to change him is what I feel best about.
Yes, doctors do perform miracles and they do happen. Next week, we'll be back with another story from the world of medicine because like we said earlier, miracles happen.